Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to Daz Reacts, and today I am reacting to Piers Morgan roasting people for 8 minutes straight. And apart from the fact that he's an Arsenal fan, I really do like Piers Morgan. I used to watch Good Morning Britain until they sacked him or he left. I don't know which way it was, but I used to watch it and I don't watch it now. I love the fact that he would go on there and he would just say what he thought. And he basically said what other people were thinking, but what most people are just too scared to say. And like I only just recently found out that he's got his own show on this Talk TV. I never knew it. So I thought that, do you know what? I'm going to just get a compilation video of some of his best bits up until now. And then I'm probably going to start watching some like longer shows, because I know he done an interview with Andrew Tate a few months back, and that may have been the through Talk TV. I really don't know, but yeah, I'm looking forward to this, and I'll chime in with an opinion here and there, but that's the thing, that like people just have to be so careful what they say nowadays because of this bloody cancel culture. Luckily for me, I don't really give a crap. I say what I think anyway. That I never try to offend anyone or anything. It's just my opinion. That's the thing. Everyone's entitled to it. It's just most people are scared to say it nowadays. So let's see if this video is going to get me in trouble. Enjoy.
What is the most effective? I don't agree that body shaming or making someone feel bad about their weight helps. Right. What is the most effective way that people can lose weight, in your experience as a doctor?
Right. One of the things...
Eat less food, do more exercise.
No, you were talking Piers. Can we hear from the medical professional in the room?
Dr. Piers.
Am I wrong, Miriam? Am I wrong?
No, you're not.
Doesn't it really just boil down to better, healthy eating, less food down your gullet, and do some more exercise? Do you drink?
Do you know what the thing is that with that, it is the case that it's true that for me, like for example, like I'm classed as obese now. If I went to the doctor and he weighed me, that I'm defined as obese in the UK. But the thing is that like I'm not really fat all over. I've just got a big pot belly, and for me it's probably down to like the energy drinks and the chocolate and things like that. But that's my choice. Like when I quit smoking like a little under 2 years ago, I decided then that I didn't really want to put on a lot of weight. So what I've done is I quit smoking. I was going to the gym most days. I made sure I didn't eat a lot of junk and things like that. And I lost a lot of weight, and I was getting into really good shape until one day I just thought, sorry, I just want chocolate. But it was through eating less junk and exercising more. So yeah, you hit the nail right on the head. But some people just choose. It's bigger people. That's the thing. That like fat people will choose like to argue back with him because he's stating a fact. But it's like for me, like my wife will say to me that like if you want to lose weight, you just need to like eat less junk and do more exercise. And I'll defend myself in a sense that like you only live once, and like you need to enjoy life. Why go through life and like not have the luxuries and things like that? Why worry about weight? So I defend myself because I'm fat, and like these people defend themselves because they're fat, and most of my family are fat, and you say the same thing to them, that they defend themselves. That's the thing. That yeah, so it's the same as a smoker. Like if you go to a smoker and say to a smoker like it's a disgusting habit, like they will defend themselves as a smoker, and it's the same vice versa.
Less food down your gullet and do some more exercise. Do you drink almond milk?
Have been affected
Do you
by
drink almond milk?
severe flood.
Do you drink almond milk?
I drink plant-based milk.
You do. And do you eat avocados?
I eat a plant-based
Do
diet.
you eat avocados?
We're asking the government.
Do you eat avocados? Yes?
A leading study from...
Do you? Look, it's an interview. You don't just answer different questions. Do you eat avocados?
I eat a plant-based diet, which
Do you eat avocados?
Yes.
Yes, you do. Great. Do you know how avocados...
She's like a politician, isn't she? That like it's the case that like you get asked one simple question: do you eat avocados? And like it's going all around the asses without actually answering a bloody question. I feel like I'm watching bloody Westminster Abbey.
diet, which
Do you eat avocados?
Yes.
Yes, you do. Great. Do you know how avocados and almonds get made?
Absolutely.
You do.
Yes.
Do you realise that in California, every year, for 6 weeks, they fly in billions of bees to create your almonds and avocados, and in that process, several billion bees get murdered. This is a bee. Right? That's a bee. That, last time I checked, is a living animal. Billions get slaughtered. Okay, why can't I identify as a black lesbian?
See, this man, honestly, that I love the fact that because I am the sort of person that I've got an answer for everything. My wife hates it. My wife detests the fact that like I've got an answer for everything. And now I know how she feels because my daughter's the same. My daughter's got an answer for everything, but she's not me. So when she does it, I get pissed off with her. So, but yeah, I do love Piers Morgan.
Billions get slaughtered. Okay, why can't I identify as a black lesbian?
Well, firstly, I mean, it was.
I'm serious.
I've actually seen this clip before. That I don't know who this black woman is on the screen, but her reaction to this is just priceless.
Identify as a black lesbian.
Well, firstly, I mean, it was.
I'm serious. I'm serious. If I can identify as anything without any need to prove I'm actually what that is, why can't I, on International Women's Day, say I'm Piers Morgan, I'm a black lesbian?
I think taking it to a kind of absurd status.
I think that's
talking about quite a
with
strong
respect, I think
physical
that
change.
you'd already opened the absurdity door by saying it is limitless. You can do what you like. Anyone can say I'm a woman. So I simply ask you, why can't I?
I mean, this point kind of ridicules trans people to an extent.
Actually, I think what you said ridicules trans people. Tommy, I mean, look, I don't see why, if it's...
See, the thing is that with this, that like, because in the UK now, like, we've had this argument that, like, this is probably going to be a couple of weeks ago by the time this video comes out, but, like, the argument now in the UK is that there was a recording that came out of a school where a teacher was going at a student because they refused to... Like there was one student that wanted to identify as a cat, and another student not had a problem with it, just questioned it. And then there was a woke teacher that just laid into this student that was against it, and like that's wrong because obviously, like if I send my daughter to school, and that someone in her school wants to identify as a penguin, and my daughter says, "Well, that's stupid. You're not a penguin. You can't." And then the teacher then goes at like my daughter for that. Like that's something that you can't be teaching that in school. When it comes to like all of this, like I'm not homophobic. I've never been against like gay or lesbian or anything like that. And now all of this that's coming around, like all of this transgender and what you can and can't identify as and everything, I'm not against it. My stance on it is that I don't really care about it. Like in my mind, there's two genders. There's man and a woman. You can be born a man and choose to become a woman. That's fine. You can be born a woman and choose to become a man. And then they became like with non-binary and everything else behind it. That's fine. That's not an issue. One thing that I don't like is that you're trying to shove it down people's throats, and that's the thing that like. You can be gay. You can be trans. You can identify as a cat. You can do this. You can do that. But don't do it just to make a statement and just to get a spotlight on you. Do it because you genuinely want to do it. That not everyone's going to agree with it. Not everyone's going to accept it. For me, it's not that I disagree with it. It's not that I don't accept it. I just don't give a crap. That you can do what you want. It doesn't affect my life or anything. But yeah, it's just the fact that like people just feel like they need to shove all of this new crap down your throat, and it's so annoying.
Limitless. I can't just say I'm Piers Morgan. I'm a black... I'm
going to go back on that one.
Actually, I think what you said ridicules trans people. Tommy, I mean, look, I don't see why, if it's limitless, I can't just say I'm Piers Morgan, I'm a black lesbian. Because that is where limitless self-identity takes us. It means that male rapists can say they're women and get into female prisons. It means I can say I'm a two-spirit penguin or a black lesbian, and why can't I? If I said my pronoun was hottest man alive, if that was my genuine pronoun, would you feel obliged to call me that every day? Hey, hottest man alive? No, you wouldn't, would you? No. So, in other words, it all depends who decides what they want to be called.
And isn't that what we're discussing? The fact that I don't have to do that?
So why do we have to call
Why do we have to call Sam Smith they?
Because we're respecting their
why don't you respect
choice.
Me? That's my choice.
When do I have to
it's my choice.
When do I have to call you?
I want to be called hottest man alive.
Hottest man alive.
Yes,
all the time.
That is my choice, and I demand you respect it.
I'm struggling because we're now, I think...
Sorry, my preferred pronouns are hottest man alive.
Really demeaning the topic, aren't we?
Sorry,
what are you now going to say that
you just said...
Today you're world's hottest man, tomorrow you want to define yourself as a chair or as a dolphin?
Well, I once identified as a two-spirit penguin because I was told there are 100 genders, including astrogender, which is an affinity with the stars, and I was told, Piers, stop being ridiculous. I was like... If there are 100 genders, I can be a two-spirit penguin.
I
can now demand you call me, as my pronouns, hottest man alive. But you don't want to because you think that's ridiculous. I think, Angelina, that
the thing is that like it is just getting ridiculous now, and like there's I don't know. It is the case that like he makes a fair point to the fact that like yeah, it comes across as stupid. Like he wants to be referred to as the hottest man alive. A lot of people are going to look at that and go, that's stupid. You're just demeaning something. But at the same time, being told that he can't do that is contradicting what you're trying to do. At the same time, yeah, it's just a whole big palaver, to be fair.
Hottest man alive. But you don't want to because you think that's ridiculous. I think, Angelina, that a bit of fat shaming is a good thing, right? I think that when people say to me, you put on a bit of timber, mate, it makes me go back and try and lose a bit of timber. Eat a bit less, drink a bit less, get on my Peloton bike, off we go, right? I need to have people look at me going, hey, big boy, lose a bit.
That's so ironic, right? Because whenever we mention it on air as a joke, you complain about it.
I do that to you because you're the great virtue signalling. We can't say anything negative about anybody's body image. Everyone's perfect.
Yes.
I don't agree. I think a bit of fat shaming is a good thing, a healthy thing. What do you think, Angelina?
I think you're wrong.
I don't like.
Okay, so I have this thing on fat shaming that, like, it is the case. I agree with him. I agree that fat shaming someone can be beneficial to some extent because it can give someone that kick up the arse that they need to actually do something about it. But this is where I draw a line. That for me, like I said, that I've got a biggish family. That I feel that at times that I could fat shame members of my family, people that I'm closest to. I wouldn't do it to like second cousins who I don't see from one year to the next. But if it's like siblings or very, very close relatives, I feel that I could fat shame them at the same time, whereas I feel that they could fat shame me. And they do. And like even down to my wife can fat shame me. But I feel that, like, for example, a few weeks ago, that like I have been putting on weight since everything happened in February. That like when like Harry passed away, like I was eating more, and I think it was just like going into like a bit of a dive, and like I was putting on more and more weight, and like she fat shamed me, and she just basically said that like maybe you're getting to a point now where because what happened is that I was going to work, but I'd done my leg in the back and like behind my knee. I don't know what I'd done with it. I think it was when I was riding my daughter's scooter. But she said, maybe your body just ain't capable for physical activity anymore. You're putting on the weight. For me, that's fat shaming. But now I cycle 15 miles a day to work and back. So in a way that it's a bad thing that she may have fat shamed, but in a good thing because it gives me a kick up the arse to actually like do something about it. So yeah, but I would never do it to a complete stranger. That fat shaming, like you get people that get fat shamed through social media, or they could be out on the bus or the train or whatever. That is something that's a no-go. That's a complete stranger to you. You don't do that. That's just messed up.
Like vegans very much?
I think you're wrong.
I don't like vegans very much. I don't think any of you are very healthy.
I'm not surprised by that.
Yeah, I think you all look pretty pasty-faced and unhealthy to me. But that's your choice. What I don't do is I don't go running into vegan restaurants and start screaming abuse at you all and have to be pulled out by people because you're ruining everyone's fun. Why do you do that to meat eaters?
So the thing is, within years, technology like precision fermentation, alt protein, is going to produce the exact same products that you love right now, using a fraction of the land, producing a fraction of the carbon
footprint. But I like eating meat.
It's the exact same product.
No, but I like eating meat.
Fine. You'd be eating the exact same product.
In fact, the more you guys do this kind of thing, the more meat I want to eat.
That's absolutely fine.
It's true.
That's fine. That's fine.
Literally, it's a bit. Honestly, it's true. The more stuff you do like this,
sorry, I didn't catch that. It's true, is it? You've said that about 3 times. I didn't quite catch it. That you like eating meat.
Yes.
Oh, thanks. I didn't get it the first 3 times. Oof! You've got me another one.
Take it off your bingo.
Fantastic.
Take it off your bingo, son.
But where's the salt? Where's it?
Won't need any of this gruel.
Let's
put that to one side, but I will have a bit of steak just to.
You didn't salt it though.
You see, all you've achieved is you've made me want to do this. Just eat a lovely.
That's absolutely fine. You go for it.
See, this is my thing again when it comes to vegans, and this is not putting them all in a category because it's not all of them, but it's a very selected few that they become vegan, and then all of a sudden they need to make a statement about being vegan. And recently you had it in the snooker where they went on and they threw the orange dye. I don't know if that was vegan or the oil or some crap. I don't know, and then I think it was the rugby as well that they tried to do, and there's other different sporting events and things like that because like being vegan and everything. But again, it is something that like you chose to become vegan. That's your choice. But I love eating meat. Like at the moment, I've gone off of mincemeat a little bit, but if I go TGI Fridays, guaranteed I'm getting a fucking warrior burger that's that big and like it's juicy, and I'm gonna eat every bit of it. I love chicken. I would never ever stop eating chicken, but like it is the case that like my wife don't eat meat. My wife's a pescatarian where she'll only eat fish, and like she doesn't like throw it in my face that like, oh, don't eat meat, you're killing animals and blah blah blah. And that is the thing. It's the same that like you'll get people out there that can identify as this or identify as that, but that's their choice and that's what they want to do, and they don't make a massive deal out of it. And then you get vegans out there that choose not to eat meat for their own reasons, and they're not making a massive deal out of it. But then you get these select few people out there that they become vegan or they identify as a cat, and everyone has to know, and it has to be a big thing, and this is me now, and this is my... And that's where social media has messed everything up, because everyone is doing this on social media to try and get a reaction and try to get that following and things like that. And yeah, social media has messed up a lot, to be fair. That the way the world goes now, that it's all down to social media.
Well, when you claim that you're a two-spirit penguin...
Yeah, you know why I did that?
Go on.
Because you and I had this debate about the 100 genders. And I made the point, if literally you can now identify in 100 different ways your gender, including two-spirit person and all this other stuff, then I'm entitled to identify as a two-spirit penguin. In other words, there are no limits. And what's interesting is, you want me to respect all those 100 genders, however ludicrous some of them are, but you have zero respect for my right to identify myself in any way I see fit. So in other words, it's one rule for you. You say everyone's entitled to say they can be whatever they want. But the moment I decide that I want to be a two-spirit penguin, you go absolutely nuts and want to control how I self-identify.
That's not how it's all about accepting.
See, that's the thing as well. For this guy that he was interviewing there, that if this guy, the guy at the bottom, if he would have gone on to Good Morning Britain and said, I identify as a two-spirited penguin, and people would have said no, then there would have been an uproar. He's allowed to identify as what he likes, and there's 100 different ways of gender and things like that. But it is because Piers Morgan's saying it, and because it's coming across that it's just mockery and it's making a point from Piers Morgan, that's why he's now not allowed to do it. And that's the thing, that's the messed up part about it, because their belief is that everyone is entitled, until it seems like you're making a mockery out of it, and then you're not entitled. So yeah, it's just it's like there's a rule book that's been just written down. This is what you can do and this is what you can't do, and if you don't follow it to the T, then you can't be included.
I want to control how I self-identify.
That's not how it's all about accepting that women don't come in one particular size 8 shape. Yeah. And I think it's actually a good thing.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
You think putting a 300-pound plus model who's 5'2", so to put it in context, she's 100 pounds heavier than me, and she's 11 inches smaller.
I just think it's important that people of all shapes and sizes are represented in the media, just because women of all shapes and sizes do exist, and it's important that you see yourself represented.
But if Tess Holliday goes to a doctor, he doesn't celebrate her 300-pound size. He says to her, you're morbidly obese and you're going to die if you don't do something drastic about your weight. That's the reality check behind this ridiculous celebration of somebody who is morbidly obese.
When the stakes are this high, doesn't it make more sense?
Okay, so the thing is that, like, I don't know, it's a tough one, because, like, when it comes to modelling, I know like H&M do their plus sizes and everything, and they have like the plus size models and things like that. And there's one now that comes on when I watch Sky Go. One of the adverts on there is about plus size and things like that. And in a way, it is the case that I look at that and I think, do you know what? It is a good thing that modelling now is not about just the stick thin women and things like that. They are covering like a wider range of body shapes and sizes. So on the one hand, that it's a good thing, but on the other hand, Piers Morgan makes a good point that you're actually you're promoting this shape and you're promoting this size, but looking at it as a health way, that it's going to have major consequences on your body. So yeah, there's an argument both ways there. That's the thing. That
somebody who is morbidly obese.
When the stakes are this high, doesn't it make more sense to hear our story from us?
Oh, shut up. What do you mean the stakes are this high? Who do you think you are? Other than a latte-munching imbecile living in luxury in California while the rest of the world's a cost of living crisis, moaning and whining about an institution which gave you the titles on which you now trade millions of dollars. What are you talking about? What stakes are there other than the massive, gigantic stake? Sorry, have I missed something? I thought you've been telling your truth, which is often a pack of lies, from the moment you abandoned this country. Well, today's new trailer doubles down on the last trailer, and there's more tears. Remember that clip of Meghan once showing us how she could cry like that at the drop of a little tarnished tiara? Remember that? She could do it like that. Just bear that in mind when you watch it. Did you get that one?
This is why, obviously, that this came after, but this is a lot of the reason why he ended up leaving Good Morning Britain. But I mean, I don't follow the royal family, and I know Meghan was in Suits in America, but I do have an opinion on the wedding. The thing is, I think the reason why it's gone the way it's gone is because you've got to think like Harry has always been part of the royal family. They follow a strict code, strict rules of the do's and the don'ts and things that you can do. And then he's got with Meghan, and Meghan is an actress in the US where you look at it, not just the US, but like most countries, that when you're in that sort of spotlight, any publicity is good publicity. That whether you're all over the news for something positive or something negative, good publicity is going to earn you the money. And that's what that's what they've done here. Like, I think it was like 18 million that they was being offered for a podcast, and then the deal's like God knows how many millions through Netflix and everything like that. So the money's coming in, and she's probably getting more money than she could have ever dreamed of from just an actressing career and things like that. And I know obviously like the podcast thing went down, but yeah, I don't know. I just think that clash of like royal meets celebrity, it was always going to end up that way. And it just, I don't know, it seems like she's pulling all the strings, but I could be wrong in it, I don't know. But I've really enjoyed watching this video. It's going into like the 20 odd minutes now, and listen, I hope none of my opinions have offended people. That's never my intention. And like, I do have my opinions, but like I said, I'm not for anything, I'm not against anything. I'm all about me just living my life. I go to work, I come home, I spend time with my family, I do my YouTube channel, I have a laugh, I listen to good music, I watch good comedy, and that's it. If you want to be gay, if you want to be straight, if you want to identify as a man or a woman or a cat or a chair or anything, that's entirely up to you. If you want to eat meat or you don't want to eat meat, it's entirely up to you. If you want to be fat, if you want to be skinny, that's entirely up to you. Not my problem, to be fair. I kind of like, I take the problems of the people that live under my roof and my extended family, but other than that, I'm not really too fussed, to be fair. But I've really enjoyed watching this, I'm not going to lie. Guys, listen, thank you all for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. It really does help the channel. Also, let me know what you think in the comments down below. It's always nice to hear comments as well. So let me know what you think. Until next time, take it easy. Have a nice day. Stay safe, be kind, and I'll see you in the next one.